I've lived in Japan now for the past 13 years, which is more than a third of my entire life. And looking back on the decision to move here, it was one of the single best decisions I have ever made in my life. And so this video is for the version of me who hasn't yet left his or her home country, or the kid like I was who's going to be graduating from college soon, isn't exactly sure what he wants to do with his life, but has this opportunity to do something completely outside of his comfort zone and is wondering whether or not to pursue that opportunity. I'm here to tell you right now, pursue that opportunity. I could not have imagined that my life would be as it is now prior to making the decision to move here. And frankly, I can't possibly imagine what my life would be like had I not moved to Japan. There are just too many variables, too many things that could have happened, too many directions I could have gone in to actually see that route. But considering the decision I have made to move here to Japan and live here for the past 13 years of my life, essentially my entire adult life, what I can safely say is that my perspective, having moved abroad and in a sense kind of seen the world now that I live somewhere very different than America, has allowed me to look at the country I grew up in and the beliefs and values I grew up with and really evaluate those more objectively. What I mean by that is when you're born and raised somewhere, you are ingrained in that culture and in those ways of thinking, and there's almost no way to get yourself out of that without completely removing yourself from that environment. We all have those friends who never made it out of our hometown or our home state. And there's nothing wrong with staying home. In fact, there are probably many benefits, specifically being close to family and close-knit friends from childhood. But there is something to be said about the perspective of those who have gotten away from home or have gotten away from their kind of home culture and been able to see a different way of life. An argument can be made that one is better than the other, but what I'm here to tell you as somebody who's made that jump, I am so grateful that I made the decision to move abroad. And so really this video is pretty short and sweet, but I really want to just speak to those of you who are on the fence about packing up your things and moving somewhere different to explore a different life. It is worth it. Take a leap of faith. You will never look back and regret it. There's not a single person who's quit their job that they're dissatisfied with and said, oh, I wish I didn't quit that job. It just doesn't work that way. Likewise, there are very few people who say to themselves, oh, I wish I could live abroad and experience life somewhere different for a period of time, who then moves abroad and then says, oh, I wish I had never left my, the comfort of my hometown. Very, very seldom do you have those kinds of people. And in fact, there are many people who move abroad and then decide to maybe move back home. But honestly, once they do, they've already changed. And so for some that works, but for most it doesn't, because once you've had a taste of life somewhere else, you realize how rich that experience can be and how deeply meaningful it can be for you as a person to do something different. One other thing that's worth pointing out, I've lived here in Japan again for about a third of my life, and I have never in my life met a person living here in Japan who has said, I wish I never left my home country, or I wish I never left my hometown. Not once in my entire time being here, which is a long time, has anyone ever said that. And that's gotta be for a reason. Because I'm sure we know people who haven't left or who didn't take the opportunity, who have said like, oh, I wish I had tried doing something else, or I wish I had tried doing that. That's a pretty common sentiment. But again, I've never met a person who's living here who said, I wish I never came here. And that says a lot. That says a lot not just about life in Japan, but about life abroad or life somewhere different than maybe where you were raised. So again, if you get that opportunity, take it. You won't regret it. So I wanted to make this video for those of you who are on the fence about staying where you are or going somewhere different. Go somewhere different. You will never see the world the same, and your life will be better because of it. Trust me. If you guys have comments or questions, please drop them below. And if you guys haven't already, please smash the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for future videos.